the morning, heart of South Philly. Let's go see what the people have got to say. I'm ready to roll if they need me.
Now listen here, Dutch. Mets and the Cowboys, they suck.
1, 2, 3, go Birds! Go Birds! What we got? 302BIRDS, Gino Stinks. Go Birds! Oh my gosh, Chad.
Your favorite Chicagoan. Go Phils.
As always, God bless. Go Birds.
Get your water ice and soft pretzels ready because you are now tuned into a 302BIRDS podcast experience. Proudly presented by TickPick, Nick's Pizza, El Diablo Burritos, and Klondike Kate's on the heart of Main Street. Let's take it to the show.
All right, it's not every show that we find out that our team is back in the Super Bowl. This is technically our second ever show in 302BIRDS history that we have found out our team has won the NFC Championship, and we are back in the Super Bowl. So if you guys will join me, I think we should start this show with an inaugural Eagles chant, just to get everybody in the spirit of Super Bowl week. And if you're in the comments, go ahead and feel free to join us. And I'm not talking about like one comment. Oh, I want you to spam us letter for letter. Like, go crazy with it. Maybe even throw a couple extra letters in there. And if you're feeling frisky, don't even spell the word right. But
A-G-L-E-S.
Eagles!
Okay,
Holy
let's
shit.
all come to a truth and let's never do that again because it does not do well on like video. It doesn't do well on broadcasting wise. It does
Hey,
not.
it's sometimes the attempt that matters, right? I mean,
We sounded
that's-
like the freaking Teletubbies, dude.
It's sometimes the attempt
least
that
we-
matters, and I got a really good transition with that one, actually, to our Colin, who is a Commanders fan. You guys know we got to lay it on the Commanders fans a little bit, but we also got to give respect where it's due. Commanders had a great season. They exceeded far over expectations, and I want to just say real quick, Commanders are going to be a team in the NFC East for years to come to be reckoned with. But without further ado, let's bring on our Commanders fan for Jax Weekly Collins to recap this game.
What do I want when I'm in the state of Delaware? Of course, El Diablo Burritos. Customer service always is serving your food with a smile on their face, asking how your day is, but their food is phenomenal as well. Their burritos are out of this world, one of the best burritos in town. Their queso is phenomenal. Their burrito bowls are amazing as well. When you're in and around Delaware, stop by your local El Diablo Burritos and tell them that 302BIRDS sent you. God bless, go Birds. Like I said, if you're in and around Delaware, stop by your local El Diablo Burritos to get a banging ass burrito. Tonight we got Nico. Nico, how's the L taste, buddy?
Man, it tastes it's bitter. It's very bitter. I'll be honest with you, I have never been so like upset over being a game away from going to the Super Bowl for the first time in 33 years, which, you know, a lot of people have been telling me just to be grateful that you've been there and all of that. I get it, you know, I'm grateful to be there, but I also feel like we worked all this way. We upsetted the one-seeded Lions. You know, we've been on, you know, we've been everyone's underdog story, and all of that. We get absolutely manhandled by Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts and Zach Bond and all the whole Eagles roster. So, you know, but it was a good game. It was a good game, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters in my eyes.
What was your biggest takeaway on why they couldn't get the game done? Couldn't get that W?
Well, in the eyes of the sports world, you know, turning the ball over and fumbling 3 times is something you just can't do and then look for a way to win after. You can't win off of turning the ball over. And Washington just turned the ball over way too many times. And then let alone they didn't let Philly turn the ball over at all either. especially on the fact that you couldn't get a run game going. Your checkdowns were just always covered by somebody. I mean, Philly has a top 5 pass defense in the NFL for a reason, and everybody knows that. And their defense is phenomenal. And shout out to Quinyon Mitchell. He's my defensive rookie of the year. I know a lot of people are saying Jared Verse, but I have respect where respect is due. Quinyon Mitchell 100% gets it and gets my vote. Cooper DeJean's super tough. And at the end of the day, dude, they just beat themselves. And that's honestly the reason why they lost. And going back at it now, I really wish the game would have honestly went the other way. You guys are now in the Super Bowl. I mean, congratulations to you guys. I mean, all you guys are living the dream that everyone wants to, have for their own. Birds put the yeah, they did. And y'all are living the moment. And honestly, like I one day I'm gonna have that moment myself sooner or later. I know, I hope. And y'all just enjoy it now because Jaden's coming and he's gonna get his lick back. I guarantee you that.
I have a weird feeling that in a couple near years, maybe not this year, well, definitely not this year. Maybe next year, though, honestly, it could be, or the year after. Yeah. I can see a Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels Super Bowl. We almost saw it this year, but I can see a Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels Super Bowl, or vice versa. It might be, like, hey, Josh Allen is playing a different team in the NFC and Jaden Daniels is playing the Chiefs or whoever. Yeah. But I think both those young QBs who, like, you feel bad for both those guys because they're both, like, they're good dudes off the field. They do everything right. So even though you may not like the jersey that they play in or they may not be on your favorite team, you still respect them as a human being and what they do. And I mean, as far as Jaden Daniels goes, that kid is legit. Like, he's about as scary as they come. And I just want to say right now, before Nico M&M's, I'll M&M myself, Nico. There you go. But in the beginning of the year, I said, hey, I'm not that surprised with what I've seen from Jaden Daniels. I watched him a little bit throughout college at LSU. I know he won the Heisman, but I just didn't necessarily think it was going to transfer well to the NFL. And honestly, I had a bias of hating the Commanders. And Jaden Daniels has done the impossible. He has resurrected a franchise that Dan Snyder made dead. A franchise that was defined by lawsuits is now defined by one guy, Jaden Daniels. That is a scary thing, everyone. I just want to just point that out. This dude's energy is so infectious. He has took a dead franchise and made everybody, like, if you look at your guys' offense too, I was looking at it on paper. There's not that many first-round picks there. You got a lot of undrafted, third-round, gritty guys that just won it. They won it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, even to go to that too, it's like, and I'm not even trying to make it funny, but someone put a caption up on Twitter and it said, it was LeBron in 2007. And it was LeBron in that Cavs roster where he took like them to like 66 wins. And it was a picture of just Jaden Daniels and like Olamide Zaccheaus, Luke McCaffrey, Terry McLaurin. And listen, what Jaden Daniels has done, I mean, he is honest to God. I mean, he's resurrected like my faith into football, honestly. I know that sounds super weird, but it's like, man, when you've gone from Sam Howell, Carson Wentz, Taylor Heineke, Garrett Gilbert. Like, if you know who that is, like, I feel so bad for you. But Garrett freaking Gilbert was our quarterback. And when you've seen it all and you've seen like the worst things happen and you see a guy like Jaden Daniels come in the building, dude, it's like you just sit there and you just bow, bro. You're just like, if the dude wants water, like, I'll give him water, bro. Like, it's just like that kind of situation where you just got to be grateful, bro. And I'm just super grateful that we got JD and we're not stuck with no Drake May or Bo Nix or Michael, whatever the hell his name is. And I'm just grateful that we have. No, I know what his name is. I was going to say the other thing, but I'm good. But man, I do got to say, for all of you, this is all of you. And you know what? To Dalt, to KJ Ballpark and the other dude, I respect all of y'all so much. I want y'all to know that from the bottom of my heart. But I'm going to be honest with you. I am just so grateful that I went and bought this T-shirt that I'm wearing underneath, because this is level 1 hate watch. This is not even
Let's see it.
So I really fucking pray to God that Patrick Mahomes absolutely whoops the shit out of y'all. And I really hope, who's the running back? Kareem Hunt. He goes for 200, just so you know how it feels to watch somebody run for 205 touchdowns on you.
Kareem Hunt hasn't been on that team in like 5 or 6 years.
I got to own Ballpark Tommy again. Well, Mr. Ballpark, I don't know if you've been watching football, but Kareem Hunt is the 5-yard demon on the Chiefs, and he scores any touchdown within the 5-yard line. But it's okay. Owning ballpark Tommy is just something I can only do when no one else can do. So I understand.
It's
Just
fine.
wait till we get to baseball season. He'll be able to come back to true stride.
It's
He'll
okay.
get
Right
you.
now,
We have an NFC Championship this year, and he doesn't.
Well,
I
he doesn't
really,
have one thing this year.
I really hope you.
The Hard
Washington
Rock.
Commanders
Yeah,
took over
the
the
Hard
Hard
Rock.
Hey, ballpark, bro. I'm gonna tell you one thing. When
I didn't even know the Hard Rock existed in Philly. Everyone who tells
Yeah.
me they go to the Hard Rock goes to Atlantic City for the
you guys
Hard
don't
Rock.
you guys don't have a Hard Rock? I have one.
No,
here
we
in
do. We
Indiana.
do.
No, we do. I just didn't know it existed because nobody
I don't
goes.
think
The
Nico
one in
knows the
Philly
joke.
shit.
I will
I don't
say
think
Everybody
though,
he knows
goes-
the joke of what happened.
when
If they go
Dalton-
to it, if they go
Go,
to
continue.
a Hard Rock, they go to Atlantic City.
Yeah, Dol, explain to Nico what actually happened with the Commanders fans in Philly that went to Hard Rock.
taking this damn.
So they apparently did not get what they thought. They thought that, they were going to be intimidating people. They thought that, taking over a bar in Philadelphia, any bar, right, must be an impressive thing. I don't know anybody that has ever tried. Like Tom said, we didn't even know that there was a Hard Rock. If you're talking about that one story I told you earlier, I can't say that one on air. I promised the guy.
No, I was not. I was not.
Yeah.
No,
if I
was
didn't hit the nail
saying-
on the head, what were you saying? You take it away. Sorry.
I was saying that there was a guy who's a Commanders fan, and he kind of assembled like this, I guess, like this fan base to take over.
It was
Hard
the
Rock
Avengers of
Cafe.
Commanders fans. We could
Yeah,
give
the
credit.
Hard Rock Cafe
Adventures.
in Philly. I've been to it, but I know what Tom's talking about. Not many people know that it's even there. But the funny thing was, when the Eagles were beating the Commanders, there was an Eagles fan that said, "Hey, good job," to the guy, and said, "Good job taking over the Hard Rock Cafe." And it was just hilarious because he was like standing on the table saying, like, "We went through 30 years of this crap, man," and he's like, "We all took over the Hard Rock Cafe, and that's the best thing ever." It was so random. That's why it was funny as hell.
Dude,
That could be us next week, so be careful. I mean, but that is the beauty of sports, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, I got to give credit to Nico too. Like sitting here, taking the ball busting the week after, like literally, Nico, I got to admit, bro, that was probably was that the most important Commanders game in your life?
Yeah, so to go into, like, I'll tell you this. And this is gonna sound corny, and I don't care what anybody says. This is just my opinion, bro. I'm gonna just say how it is. That whole week last week, I couldn't even sleep, bro. I'm like sitting here thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, if they go to the Super Bowl, beating the Eagles, like Dole and KJ could never speak to me again. Like, in my opinion, I'm thinking I'm up here. Like, dude, and I'm like sitting here, I'm getting like, oh, like you have to pay this bill, you have to pay this tax, you have a homework assignment, dude. I didn't do shit all last week. All I could think about was the NFC Championship game and just deluding myself that we're gonna win. I'm like, dude, Saquon's really not even that good. Like, are we even sure? Like, Jalen Hurts is even like a good quarterback. Like, I'm like sitting here like deluding myself, and I'm like, Zach Bond looks like I've seen him on Breaking Bad. So I'm like trying to sit here and trying to figure out how I can throw him in jail in that week span. And like, but man, when that Sunday came and that first play happened, and Saquon just tossed Marshawn Lattimore on the ground, and Jeremy Chin was apparently playing
On his
Twister.
chin. He was on his chin.
Chin was playing Twister with Lattimore, and like Saquon just took it to the crib, and I was just like, man, it was fun while it lasted, man. That's literally all I said. I was like, yep. I knew it was over in the first maybe 12 minutes of the game, and then all hell went loose. But you know what though? It's a GG to y'all. I know I texted KJ and Dal GG because like I'm gonna be the respectful man, even though we got smacked in the butt. But GG to the both of y'all.
You guys will be back. You're our kryptonite, just for the record. You are our kryptonite.
Yeah, no, I've been telling Nico for a couple months now that it's gonna be like this back and forth rivalry. I think it's honestly like the Giants and the Cowboys are gonna be in the dust right now. Honestly, it's just us right now. I mean, we're gonna be the forces to be reckoned with in the NFC East. It's gonna be back and forth. Like, you guys will probably get us eventually in an NFC Championship game. It'll probably happen. But I think it's just going to be it's going to be like how it was with like the Seahawks and the Niners for years. I think it's going to be very similar with that, like how they had many NFC Championship games against each other. One beat the other, the Seahawks beat the Niners, Niners beat the Seahawks, yada, yada. So I think it's going to be like that. And as Dalt was saying before too, I mean, Jaden Daniels, and I know Ballpark gets pissed when I say this, the kid's good. And I mean, even Dalt said some shit too. And then you're like, you don't even say crap to Dalt and don't say like, oh, he's a Commanders fan. When there's a video of him wearing a shirt.
Hold on.
So he's the Commanders fan down there.
You're telling me that Ballpark Tommy has issues with Jaden Daniels? I just gotta ask, what are your
He
issues?
was glazing him over the whole virtual reality thing. That was my issue.
He was
with him.
not glazing. Dalt was doing it.
Oh
more than
my
I did.
God!
Oh,
Hold on.
I was
Hold
definitely
on
glazing him. He's an
KJ.
LSU Tiger.
No,
Why
he's
would-
good. Don't get me
KJ,
wrong.
I will let
I'll
you
admit-
glaze. I will let you glaze. But hold on, Ballpark. What's the problem with him glazing? Is it because your quarterback can't do no damn VR? Is he too damn old to do VR? What's the
He
problem?
might
here,
not do
Ballpark?
VR, but he knows every last quote from Socrates that there is.
Okay, well, let me tell you something, Mr. Ballpark Tommy. I don't give a damn what you think about the VR. I don't care if KJ glazes it or hates it. I give three shit. But you're just not going to hate on my quarterback and what he does to be better than your quarterback already. So please just do not hate on my
Wait,
guy,
which
JD.
quarterback's going to the Super Bowl?
Oh my God. Which quarterback has a top 2 running back, a top 5 receiver, a top 10 receiver, Dallas Goedert, Nick Sirianni, a top 5 defense?
Which quarterback won the game? That's the quarterback that's better.
Oh my God. Okay, so we're gonna be stupid. Okay, let me just tell you something.
All right. I don't want to do this all night.
Go ahead.
We can
you're
do
right.
it all night.
I'm gonna just tell you one thing, Ballpark Tommy.
Go ahead.
When your team is projected 6 wins, okay?
Go ahead.
Keep that in mind. When the Commanders are gonna have 6 wins and they go and proceed to win 12 along 2 in the playoffs, and all because of one guy in a quarterback, that's pretty impressive, right?
Yes.
But when
I
Jalen
agree.
Hurts,
That's what I was trying to tell Tommy.
when Jalen Hurts stepped in as the quarterback for the Eagles, they had to build around. They had to give him everything. They had to give him 2 really good wide receivers. They had to go get Saquon Barkley, juice up the O-line, go get Dallas Goedert, go get all these people, all these pieces, right? So all I'm hearing is that Jalen Hurts needs other people around him to make him better, while Jaden Daniels makes everyone around him better. So who's the better quarterback at the end of the day? Ballpark
Still
Tommy.
Jalen Hurts.
Okay, so you're delusional. Got it. All right.
Still
He's a
Jalen
Philly
Hurts.
fan. What do you mean? He's a good Philly fan.
Hold
What
on.
do you expect?
We were 4-12 when he took over this team, Jalen Hurts. You forgot about
Go
that.
grab the biggest violin of all time.
Oh
dude.
my
I don't care
God. We were
less, dude.
4-12. You're
don't
delusional.
care. I'm delusional. Oh, okay.
Yes, you
Says the
are.
guy that's named.
If
Says the
you-
guy that's
if-
named. Says the
Well,
guy
You
that's
I
want
guess
to
named.
we're all
compare
delusional.
rookie years to rookie years. Here's the Eagles were also projected only 4 to 6 wins, lost to Tampa Bay in the wild card round his first full season.
Are you done talking, bro? Because it's just like you be saying the same thing and it don't make
I
any
mean, it's
sense.
the two of you.
What are
It's
you
the-
talking about? I'm
My
saying the same
my
thing.
quarterbacks. Okay, so Jalen Hurts' full year. Are you trying to really compare that to Jaden Daniels?
Yes.
Okay, so
Because
I want
he had
Ballpark Tommy
Devontae
tested
Smith.
for meth, fentanyl, coke. I want him tested for all of it. I want him tested
And
for
rabies.
everything.
Rabies, too. He might have rabies.
So are you saying
Maybe.
Terry McLaurin
Yeah.
was never a good wide receiver in this league?
What does Terry McLaurin have to do
Because
with
Terry
Jaden Daniels and
McLaurin
Jalen Hurts?
is the number one on your team.
That's like
Hold on,
I will say he is like the
when
only guy on
Hurts-
that offense.
when Hertz took over, or he didn't have he didn't have Miles Sanders. He didn't even have. All he had was Devontae Smith.
I
No, he
promise
did
you.
have
Miles
I
Sanders.
promise
He
you,
did have-
Miles
he did have
Sanders.
Sanders.
I will tell you, Miles
He did have Miles
Sanders. I
Sanders.
promise you wouldn't have made a difference whether he's on the team or off the team.
He had Miles
Come on
Sanders. He
now.
had him.
Come on now.
No booby
Not
slander.
his first year.
He had Miles
Listen,
Sanders, but his
the ball-
receivers were at the first time I would say it was
It
like
was-
Jalen Rager and like Greg Ward.
Yeah,
Those guys
you're
are
right.
really
But hey,
good.
we don't got to argue
they're
about
not.
Jalen Hurts.
You're
Nico,
delusional if you think they're good.
I want to give you some props for
He's
coming on
joking.
here the week after taking an L. Your Commanders team will be back, a force to be reckoned
will.
with. You'll be back on the show. Please let the people know where they can give you a follow.
You can follow me on YouTube at We Sportin' podcast. You can follow me on TikTok, We Sportin', Instagram, We Sportin', your mom's Facebook, We Sportin', Twitter, We Sportin'. I'm everywhere. So thank you guys for having me on Ballpark. It's always fun. It's always fun owning you. Dalton, KJ, love talking to you. Other guy, you're like my favorite because I don't ever know your name. So yeah, thank you guys for having
Call him
me.
Jackass. Call him Jackass.
Yeah, I'll see you guys next season for sure.
See you, Nico. Take care.
good.
See you, Nico. That
Wait.
was-
That was
Yeah,
Good
that
thing.
was well
was
done.
awesome.
I mean, and getting into talking about the Phillies, you got to ring that bell too. Ballpark, is this team going to do anything before spring training?
No.
Yeah. I don't
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
Dude, this team is quiet as crickets. It's annoying as hell. It really is. I mean, Estevez just left. Hayes just left. I mean, it's just. I mean, I know those guys
They
aren't
both were
key
bums.
players. Yeah, they're not key players, but still.
I'd
Yeah.
rather bring up some prospects than keep going out. Estevez has a fastball. He has a fastball, and he has a fastball. And
Yeah.
teams were picking up on that, and he was giving up grand slams. I'm not that upset about him leaving. We were never going to win a championship if Estevez was our key to winning a Super Bowl. Or sorry, Super Bowl's on my mind. Winning a World Series. Yeah, he was never. We would need first year Jalen Hurts, who only had one half decent receiver that could take a team to the playoffs, type of season out of him. Because, he's just a bum ass, apparently.
Yeah, you're not a fan?
Of Estevez? No.
No?
Of Jalen Hurts? Yes.
Yeah.
Unlike some people.
So are you pretty much sold on, like, not even putting any weight into any belief in the Phillies next year? Like, do you have any belief
No. I have a ton of faith. Because as much as we didn't have a lot of flashy moves, you have to remember, you still have Castellanos, you still have Bryce Harper. The Mets are losing their only key player on offense of Pete Alonso. Lindor will probably go back to being trash just based off of the law of averages. He can't play under the big lights in New York. But with no Alonso, that they won't have Alonso as of right now. They'll suck. The Braves put all their fish in, or all their eggs in one basket. They don't have anyone who's going to really light it up unless like everybody decides to stop having a Joel Embiid type season on the Braves. And the Marlins are the Marlins, and the Nationals are the Nationals. So the Phillies will get in to the playoffs for sure, whether that be a wild card team or a division winner. Their starting rotation is still one of the best in all of baseball. Forget the NL East; they have one of the best rotations in all of baseball. It's the bullpen that what was once a strength kind of makes me nervous. I would love to see if Ranger Suarez went to the bullpen, personally. I don't think he's going to last as a starter. It's almost like what the Phillies did with Ryan Madsen. Like, yeah, he was a pretty good starter. He could be lights out at times, even Cy Young-esque. But come the end of the season, he was cooked. So I'd rather see him go to the bullpen. And I think you have a lot of prospects who can come up. I think you have a lot of pitching prospects that come up, honestly. Like Mick Abel had a kind of a rough year. He kind of trended downwards. So I don't really see him like making an immediate impact. Painter will probably come up by around mid-July. And you have guys like Crawford and you have Crawford, you have Aiden Miller, or you have those guys to like rebolster this team from a young guy perspective. But I would love if they got like a consistent left fielder, just so they wouldn't have like two almost automatic outs when like Marsh and Rojas go cold. Oh, that way you can those guys are platoon players the way that they hit. And they can both play center field, and then put somebody else in left field who can actually play the outfield. I don't trust Schwarber to ever put a glove on ever again. He's just gonna mess up his calf. So,
jeez,
what?
It's over with Schwarb's tenure in Philly.
I think it's over with him playing the outfield.
Yeah.
So DH from now on.
He'll DH quite literally every game. I don't think he can ever play the outfield again. He either messes up his knee or his calf. almost every time. Like, he can't even play back-to-back games, so you need to go out and get a left fielder, in my opinion.
What the hell did I just see?
That was
Schultz
funny, Shard. That cracked me
gonna
up.
hold Grimace hostage?
I'm loving the Grimace slander personally.
Okay.
But hey, it is what it is. The Phillies, we'll see what they can do. We'll see if we decide to go to spring training this year or not. I know that that's something we'll
Ballpark's coming
decide
with us?
after the Super Bowl.
No.
No, yeah, it's tax season. Ballpark will
He's
never
never-
come with us to spring training. Maybe one day when he's retired, he'll come every year then. Yeah.
Yep.
He won't say no when he's not working. I mean, he does love his Phillies. We'll say that.
Or when I become the boss. If I'm the boss.
Oh, if you're the boss, then you can leave, right?
Work from Florida, right?
Exactly.
Tom, we'll
We'll
show you
have
the
to work in the
alligators
morning.
down there. You can make friends with alligators.
Sure.
Make friends with alligators. Well, if there's one thing that Tom loves his Phillies like KJ loves his Sixers.
You are now listening to KJ's Court Sixers Talk presented by the Sleeper app.
All right,
Yeah,
Matt, roughing it out, bro.
yeah, I mean, the Sixers got a dub yesterday against the Lakers. And Bronny James was in town, LBJ's son. So it was a duo of the son duo, kind of doing what they do with Griffey and everything like that. He was playing because he got bumped up because he had a crazy game for the G League. He had like 31 points, but then he went on to play against us and shot a lot of shots, but he had 0 points. But you know who had a lot of points though? Tyrese Maxey. So I mean, Maxey is the man. I mean, honestly, there was no one else really. PG was nowhere to be found. Joel Embiid was nowhere to be found. Yeah, there's a lot of guys missing, but Tyrese Maxey took over the show. Him, Yabusele, I mean, Oubre went off as well too. So I mean, those guys really came up in the clutch. And I didn't even know this, but apparently Larry Nance's brother plays for us now. So I mean, that's kind of cool, I guess. But I mean, just random guys just coming out of nowhere. It's kind of like the process days, but I mean, we got differences. We got a guy in Tyrese Maxey who we trust in. So, but that's it though. I don't trust in Embiid, and I keep on hearing rumors though of a familiar face that might come back to the team. I mean, you never know. You just never know. Jimmy Butler. There's rumors about him. I mean, I don't know if it's true, but Jimmy Butler might be coming back here. We'll see. I said might, Jack. Keyword might. Keyword might.
I don't want that dude in my locker room. He's a locker room cancer. And that's why the Heat are getting rid of him. And like his most likely landing place will be in Phoenix. I mean, Jimmy Butler is, I don't know. I think he's washed. I really do think he's washed. And I don't think adding him to the Sixers will make us better. I mean, this team, okay, yeah, we beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, who were probably the best team in the Eastern Conference. But at the same time, it's like, okay, we get 2 big wins right after we made it to the NFC to the Super Bowl. But that's just not going to last. It's gonna butt us. It's gonna shoot us in the butt, and it's gonna be this team's gonna be on a losing streak. So I have no faith.
No, I'm not saying that. I know that they still suck. They still suck. I'm not saying they don't. So, but I'm just looking at the positives. They still suck in my eyes. I mean, they still have a lot of work.
Well, they're
to do.
Josh Harris' own team, so of course they suck.
Josh Harris still owns the team. That's the problem. So, I mean, he's also making the organization not congratulate the Eagles. I mean, he did invite them to this Lakers game yesterday, but I mean, still, you didn't congratulate. You're the only team that didn't congratulate the Eagles on the win. So that's what I'll say. But yeah, I mean, the Sixers, they're still the Sixers, and it's still depressing, and I still want to put a bag over my head watching this team.
I have more faith in the Flyers winning a championship this year than the Sixers.
I might have more faith with the Union.
Well, the
Ash,
Union
any
have
thoughts
decent
for you
players.
on the Sixers?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. We're on a 3-game win streak, so it's hard to not be like, oh, maybe they're doing something. And they're, at least last I checked 45 seconds ago, they were winning. But again, we're not going to go anywhere anytime soon. The team doesn't really have that fire under them. If we potentially rebuild around Maxey, I think we have a shot, but it's going to be a long time. I concur with Tom that I do think that, honestly, there is more hope in the Flyers right now.
Well, I will say this, Dolt. We do have a good luck charm at the game. Shout out to our boy Friday. He's at the game. So, you know what? The Sixers, hopefully they'll win it for Friday. And I heard he's rocking some Eagles gear there. So,
the process 2.0.
Friday.
Yeah, we are hoping you're having a good time. If you're listening, Friday, we appreciate your support of the podcast, man, and all that you do to help the Phillies post game. Somebody that isn't helping his case, though, is Jeffrey Lurie. When I saw this, well, actually, wait. One thing I want to talk about real quick before we move on to that topic. Did anybody, this is just kind of a pop culture thing. Did you guys see the video of LeBron James? He daps up AJ Brown and Devontae Smith.
Yep.
And poor Cooper DeJean, man, he got so excited to dap up LeBron. He puts his hand back in his pocket and you can see his face just sunk. Reed Blankenship too. He kind of had this, look on his face, but didn't want to dap up the exciting whites. What are you doing, man? Come on. Like, I wonder if he didn't recognize them or if he couldn't not recognize. It couldn't have been on purpose because I don't know. Like, it was funny though, the clip.
There's no way.
He's bum.
KJ, any thoughts on it?
I don't think it was on purpose. I really don't. I think, honestly, he really knows the offensive side. I think he probably knows the star players. Devontae's one of them. AJ's one of them. And, I mean, that's honestly how it was. And, I mean, for Cooper DeJean and Reed Blankenship, he maybe just could have thought they were just some, like, businessmen from Philadelphia or something like that. So he just didn't think they were I mean, think about it, too. I mean, you're playing football, and most of the time these guys, you don't really see their faces. So, I mean, they have helmets on. So he probably just sees Reed Blankenship and Cooper DeJean with their helmets on. He probably doesn't see what they look like without their helmets. So I'm guessing that's probably it. I don't think it was disrespect on those guys because, like, multiple years ago, I don't think it's anything to do with that kind of thing about, like, them being exciting whites or anything like that. Because he said that Carson Wentz, at the time, I think LeBron was a Cowboys fan, which he's not anymore, apparently. Thank God. He came to his senses. But he said that Carson Wentz, when Carson Wentz was that was his favorite player at the moment. So that was pretty cool.
I remember that. And there has been documented film, too. I mean, probably of LeBron wearing all 32 NFL jerseys. Matt Bear 2.0. Sorry, Matt Bear 1.0. Matt Bear is actually LeBron 2.0.
Snoop Dogg, too. Yeah.
Yeah. Snoop Dogg, too. I will say that. Even though he claims the Steelers, that man is like the fan of every team. The one thing I'll say, though, before we move on from this, does anybody else have anything that they want to say? Jack, Tom, Ash?
Fraud is a lay bum.
Yeah, let's roll it.
Who also never gets past the first page of any book. And then all of a sudden, magically, also, is a Cowboys fan. But when the Cowboys suck, he's magically an Eagles fan who magically becomes a Mahomes fan and Chiefs fan. He's just a front runner. He's like, he's the Drake of the NBA. Although Drake
that's a good one too. The Drake of the NBA. That's a good analogy. There you go.
Drake owns the Raptors, so maybe it's not that good of a one. But
well, I mean, I know what you're talking about because he probably has a sweatsuit for every NBA team. Somebody that has a green sweatsuit, 2 different ones in his closet, probably 2 different Kelly Green ones, I guess, an Eagles one and a Celtics one.
And the Boston
KJ McCoy. How full circle is this moment for young Dutch and young Mac?
I mean, I don't know. That was us just being young and we just thought that Kelly Green was cool and we just thought it would be, but it
young,
was
naive, and dumb.
It was a stupid phase. I don't like to talk about it too much, but I was always still a Sixers support. I never hated the Sixers. It was just a weird thing, like what Matt does with the Eagles and the Giants. He goes like back and forth, but now he's like 21 years old, 22 years old. Sorry if I got it wrong. And he's still doing it. So, I mean, it's just like that was when I was young. Now I'm older now. But, yeah, I guess, I mean, Jeffrey Lurie's trying to do what Josh Harris does now. I mean, trying to own some more teams, get some stock in some more teams. So I think that's what he's trying to do. He's also from the area of Boston.
He is a true Boston fan.
He originally tried to buy the Patriots, and Kraft bought it. So then – what, is it wrong, Tom? Am I wrong?
No, Tom's just upset that he's going for a Boston team.
I'm upset that
and then he'll
you're late fraud with first the Commanders last week, then the Celtics this week.
Dole too.
Hey, I'll own it.
And
I'll say this.
Yeah.
Young Dalton was a troubled individual that, like KJ said, saw the color Kelly Green and was enamored with it for life. I mean, look. Well, it's not all lit up, but usually I'm sitting in a bright Kelly Green room. I love Kelly Green. when the Celtics were around, they were really good 2008, 2009. There's one thing that I will say. I think a lot of people are going to be upset about this. He's not buying a bad NBA franchise. So that's one thing. Like this, if people don't see, this actually kind of makes the Eagles more valuable in a way, business-wise. Because it's like, if you buy, like, here's the simplest way I can explain it. I'll Andrew Tate it for everybody, okay? If you're hanging out with owners of Ferraris, you expand your circle to other Ferrari owners, which means you can network with Ferrari owners. So therefore, like some stuff like that, if you see what I'm saying, the general idea is he's just upping his game. He's getting to more playing field. He's going to be in the NBA circle now. That's a rich circle. So he's going to be able to potentially pull funding from there if he wants to. It's actually a really good business move. I'm not for owners buying multiple teams. Like, I kind of wish that it was like Chick-fil-A, where they limit how many franchises you can have. I wish that the NFL, NBA, and NHL were kind of like that. I know a lot of people aren't about it, but I personally think that one family should own one franchise. And it shouldn't be a brand like Comcast. It should be a family. Like the Lurries have done a fantastic job with the Philadelphia Eagles. All credit due where it's due. I mean, especially in our lifetime since he's owned them, the Philadelphia Eagles have been exceptional. So, I mean, for Celtics fans, I'll say this. You're going to be in good hands with Jeffrey Lurie as an owner. Personally, I'm not the craziest about it because when you own a team like that, that's going to take time out of your day that you'd normally be spending focused on the Eagles. So we'll see how it goes.
Is it official?
It is a rumor right now. It's not official. It's just a
right
rumor that he's in the final bid, I think, for it, right?
He's in like the final like listing of like possible owners.
Yeah, I don't think it's gone to bid yet. So we'll see.
Wow. That'll be
crazy.
impressive.
I wonder if he's enamored with the color Kelly green too. Were you going to say something, Jack? Sorry.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
But Jack, Saquon Barkley is putting us on his back and taking us to the promised land. How you feeling about this, man?
Yeah, I mean, it's a perfect ending to a story. I mean, he literally has played his whole career. You know, his rookie year was really good. And then after that, they really didn't do much in the playoffs. And to see somebody so passionate and really a big key to the success of this team, it just blows my mind how one player can change the whole kind of outcome of a team. And no, it just Saquon Barkley is really about it. And you can just tell throughout the whole playoffs this season that he has that fire in his eye that he will, take us to the promised land. He has that drive. He's wanting to win. I mean, we heard it before when when he first got picked up by the Eagles. He made a video saying that his daughter said to him, "Will this mean that we'll start winning games?" Because even his family was affected by the failures of the Giants. So seeing somebody like Saquon, who really, a big issue in the NFL is running backs had not really got much love, and we all believed in that. But now this puts all running backs in the league on the map. That they are definitely worth all this money. I mean, Saquon Barkley's contract, 3 years, $37 million. If he was a receiver right now, he would be 33rd contract. Like that, like his contract value would be ranked number 33 overall. So it really goes to show how much we don't pay these running backs who really put the team they put their body through hell. I mean, they're getting hit constantly. And I really think this puts a name on the map for the running backs, and just seeing him having so much fun at these Eagles and really buy in, it really, holds a special place in my heart.
For me, it was not what he did on the field, but it was when Will Shipley scored his touchdown at the end of the game.
Yeah.
That for me was the moment that I'm like, this is why this guy's in Philly. Obviously, we see all of the on-field chaos that he just ensues, and the Commanders just being like, what the heck? I mean, they could not stop him. But it was seeing Will score his first NFL touchdown in the NFC Championship game, and just seeing what Saquon even do the thoughtful thing of he's like, wait, I have to put on my helmet before I run on the field, right? To congratulate my little brother. That's what he called him. For me, that was like the moment that I was like, yeah, this is why this guy's in Philly.
I think the most perfect thing. Go ahead.
You sure?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I think with Saquon, I mean, it's been such a refreshing addition to this team. I mean, we really needed a number one running back, and we got it and beyond. I mean, we got the best running back in the league, and he just fits so well with this offensive line. He fits so well with the team, as Ash was saying as well. He fits so well with his teammates, even the younger ones, being like a mentor for Will Shipley, a guy who excelled in other sports before going to the NFL. So I think that's a really good thing as well, just being a mentor for all these younger guys and kind of just showing like the example of other running backs that like, hey, not all of us are really supposed to be overlooked. And I mean, it's interesting to see how the wave of running backs has kind of happened this year. It's really cool. I mean, especially with Saquon. But yeah, I think you look at the other running backs in the league and you just see now a lot of them are really dependable on teams, and a lot of teams really work well with great running backs. I mean, they're oiled machines, and that's how it shows that running backs are important to NFL teams for sure. So I'm excited to see what he's got in the Super Bowl. I think he knows the moment, and I'm so excited to see him just represent the Birds and finally get to a championship game and hopefully get that Super Bowl that he deserves and this team deserves.
KJ and Dalt, I think you both made an excellent point of these running backs not getting paid, but making massive impacts this year. Here, Saquon,
No, it was
obviously.
Jack. It was Jack, not Dalt.
It was Jack. Oh, fine. I'll
Oh,
get Jack.
gotta give credit where it's due.
I know. But like, look at Derrick Henry. Like, sure, the Ravens were already like a pretty well built team, a pretty put together team that they really didn't necessarily need Derrick Henry to elevate them, but he did. Like, he elevated their offense. Saquon elevated the Eagles' offense, especially with both offenses having a more athletic quarterback who can drop dimes like we saw when allowed. Hell, Jalen Hurts do this past Sunday. Hey, I didn't see Jayden Daniels necessarily put up 55 points, but I'm just saying. Saquon elevated this team. Derrick Henry elevated his team. And to Ash's point of the off the field stuff, I heard this week, and it kind of is true. Saquon Barkley is like a perfect human being. Like, he's a great athlete, like a monster of an athlete on the field. He gives back to the community. He's a very loving father, and I'm not sure if he's married, so I'll just say partner or to his fiance, girlfriend, wife. I forget.
They're married.
But whatever. But he's like perfect there. He's like the kindest, most humble human being there is. Like, he would have had the rushing record if he didn't let the boys eat throughout the season. Like, think about it. He sat out like 3 or 4 like full fourth quarters. Just if he plays parts of those, he probably would have accumulated those 30 to 100 yards, like that he needed. And he will have the most rushing yards probably by the end of the Super Bowl with just 30 more yards. So he's a beast of a running back, beast of a human being. He helps elevate everyone around him. And he's just wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Jizzle said, remember when we had the first Giants game this season? We were talking to Jizzle, and he said he doesn't know him on a personal level, but he knows that Saquon Barkley is such a good dude and like holy Catholic man, like loves his family, loves his team. That's just what you need. I think as any professional athlete, you need to be that kind of that person, that does all these little things on the side for his teammates and things like that. And that's what we have in Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, he's the perfect guy on and off the field. What were you saying as well, Ash?
I wasn't saying anything.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I like that point too, because there's a lot of players too. I won't name the Eagles ones. We were talking about some of them before the show, but we will name a Redskins one like Luvu, who there's players like that where you just hear their name as an opposing fan and you cringe. I will say, you do cringe for Saquon Barkley when you hear his name, but you cringe for different reasons. Like you respect him. You know what I mean? And that for other people is, I think, what really sells it. But getting into our final topic, we're bringing another guest on the show. You guys know this guy, Chaos Chris, coming back on the show. Chris, we're Super Bowl bound, baby.
Hey, I've doubted this damn team all year, all off season. Didn't think they hired the right coordinators. Didn't think they got any good linebackers. Yeah, they go get the defensive player of the year off the fucking streets. Like, I've been wrong about this team all year, and I hope I'm wrong one last week because I don't think they're going to fucking win.
Damn,
that's
what I wanted to hear. That's what we all want to hear. Trust me. We all want to hear that. Trust me. That's great.
I don't. Patrick Mahomes is incredible, and I just don't see them beating him. I just don't see it happening. They got the refs on their side. I know our defense has been great all year, but it just seems like it doesn't matter who Patrick Mahomes plays. He puts up 30 plus, and I don't know if we are going to be able to score with that either. So
last week was his first week putting up 30 plus points all year.
I don't listen to stats. I think that's fake news. Mr. Finance guy, I think that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Mahomes is going to put up 75 now because you are doubting him.
I will say this. The difference maker's got to be Barkley. Like, we didn't have Barkley that first time around. And the fact that Barkley's here, and we also didn't have that defense. Like, the defense was good, but you look at, I think Shard sent a comparison graphic in the group chat today where it was like 2022 defense to 2024. And you had good players in 2022. Don't get me wrong. Like, Fletch was on the team, right? But this team just, Jalen Carter's entering his prime. Like, we're on the front end of that as he's playing in this Super Bowl. So they're about to do some damage. What were you saying, Mac?
I was saying that, yeah, I mean, Chris is kind of right about the Chiefs, though. They pretty much do get lucky. I mean, like, when they played the Bills, obviously this week, there was literally a drop pass, and they said, oh, it's a catch. So I feel like and I'm not saying that's the reason we lost the Super Bowl. There was a very controversial call that was called at the end of the game when we lost in Super Bowl 57. I do feel like there is going to be a controversial call that either could really jeopardize, the game for us, or it could just it could be one of those jeopardizing calls that, like, it keeps on going back and forth, and we're not going to win because of that. But I do feel like we have the better team. I do feel like we will win, and I do feel like we will persevere through that ref bullcrap that usually a bunch of teams have to persevere through, which they don't, though. So,
hey, Chris. So when the Eagles win the Super Bowl, you're not going to be on Broad Street. You can't be on Broad Street. The fact that you just said that, you can't be on Broad Street. If I see you on Broad Street,
I'm going to be climbing that pole. I'm going to die like that kid did.
Okay. Oh my God!
Okay.
Jesus.
No.
All right, rest in peace. But on a side note, how are you guys feeling about Jalen Hurts? Like, do you guys, Ash? I know you said you wanted to give some input. Do you think that Jalen Hurts will have a big game? Yes or no?
Yeah, 100%. I think he has the definite potential to. I'll be curious to see some of those injuries that we were potentially dealing with up front this past weekend, what that is going to be. We need Juergens healthy at 100%. For starters, we are not getting anywhere if that does not happen. I do think that we have the potential to win it. I'm not 100% sure. I am very uncertain. That is not to say that I think we're going to lose. It's that I am uncertain that we're going to win. Because again, you see what the Chiefs have, you see what they have working for them, and you see what we have working against us. So we have the team to win it. If we are going to win it at any point, it is this season, not knowing what's going to be happening in free agency. The defense should be able to lock it down. If Zach Bond plays the way that we know that he can, we'll be fine. And Jalen Carter. I need those two guys to step the heck up, and then we'll be okay. But I will be not sleeping between now and the Super Bowl. Nobody in my house slept Saturday night, yet we all probably could have gone to bed at 6 o'clock or whenever the game was over on Sunday, because I don't know about y'all, but it was a stressful game, even though we won by a lot.
Ash, I got a hot take for you on your way out. By the end of this Super Bowl, you are going to be a fan of Jalen Carter. I know you're a fan of him, obviously, because he's the Eagles, but I know you and me specifically, when he got drafted, we were skeptical. We both were.
Yes, we both were.
And I will say, this is one of those things, like Chris said earlier, where you're glad to be wrong, you know? So if that's what it's been, give him, that 100%. Motivation.
100%. And stay tuned for what we do with my neighbors in the next couple of weeks.
That's true. Kansas City
AJ,
Chiefs.
I have some videos to send you. I was sending Dalton some videos yesterday. My dad was up to no good working from home yesterday.
Lou is the GOAT. Man. I just want to say, Lou, if you are listening to this podcast, I respect your tactics, man. You are a veteran's veteran, and this is game respecting game. Like the one video. So can I tell them about the one with the speaker?
Oh, yeah.
So they're coming home from work, and I guess that they're your next door neighbors.
They are literally next door neighbors that away. Yeah.
Her dad opens up the window, and as this dude's coming home from work, he starts playing Fly, Eagles, Fly on a speaker.
Whole neighborhood could hear it. Yeah.
Jesus, I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Well, and we already saw other neighbors at breakfast on Sunday morning before the game. We saw Birds fans out in the wild, which, we don't see that very often around here. And legitimately, our neighbors come up to us, and he's like, Lou, your lights started at 4:30 this morning, because we have lights all around the house and on our garage. And he's like, well, I was up at 4:30. I'm ready. So it's
game day.
It's game day.
Well, wait, Ash, I got to ask, though.
Yeah.
Is there still this on the table? Is a bald eagle, are you going to work your magic and get a bald eagle to be on their porch when they wake up that Sunday morning of Super Bowl?
We are not cool enough to have a bald eagle. I don't know if y'all know all of the permitting and the training. You have to be trained by the U.S. government to handle bald eagles, because they are a protected species. So we do not have it. I wish. Believe me, I wish. But
how about a white parakeet that we can kind of spray paint brown as well? We can make it seem like an eagle.
Well, how about we get this? We get an audio recording of you doing a bird call, and Ashley's dad can just play that on the speaker outside the window, and then a whole bunch of eagles will flock to their nest.
Oh, no. You know what? Get Ash's brother to get the costume on.
That's actually a good idea.
Okay, so Swoop will be making an appearance, and what I will say is I work at a zoo, for those of you who don't know, and social media-wise, I am cooking up some very, very fun Eagles things. I can't share. Some of these people, if they watch my video today, they already know, but we have some really fun stuff.
If you need a collab, just let us know. I'm just saying, because you'll get a lot of likes with that result.
Let's just say the video involved an elephant.
Yes, exactly, because there are elephants living in the middle of Chicago.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, hey, Ash, I appreciate you for jumping on here with us.
Of course. Go Birds, and I'll see y'all next week.
Birds.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Yes.
We got all the balls in our court.
Too. Huh?
We got all the balls in our court for against the Chiefs, because when the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2018, the Patriots were on a three-peat, and we beat them. And then now the Chiefs, they're on a three-peat. We're going to beat them again. We're going to beat them this time. So
yeah, and I saw a bald eagle today in Philly.
I saw two bald eagles fly over my house today.
God.
I just want to say, KJ is one of the most committed people I've ever met in my life to this podcast. I got to give props where it's due. KJ already knows, we talk all the time. He's one of my buddies, but me and Mac are working on, and KJ, he suffered out there. He put in the work. But we got a really cool video this morning where we had kind of an unexpected health thing. Everybody's okay. Don't worry. Yeah, I'm okay. KJ's okay. But the good news is we got a hype video coming out that is one of the coolest hype videos ever. And I just want to show you guys this picture really quick from this morning to get you guys as excited as me and Mac are. But you can never say that KJ McCoy is not committed and diehard to this podcast, because this kid woke up early this morning at sunrise, golden hour, and there was a sign. There was a sign. He saw an eagle, and every time
right when I was coming out the art
or
museum.
his dad sees an eagle, good things happen. I don't think
Every
we've ever
time.
lost every time you call me that
Every
you see an
time
eagle.
I've seen an eagle, every time I've called you and said, I just saw a bald eagle, we win. My dad saw one in 2017. It went on top of his truck and it had a squirrel in its mouth. And he was, that's what he tells me. And
That's funny.
he said that's when he knew, and he booked like a hotel in Philly for the parade, and they won. So we had a hotel. It was awesome.
That is awesome. That's really cool. But it's going to be an exciting year. I really got a good feeling. Chris, I love you, but I hope your take is wrong. And I know you hope it's wrong too. So I know everybody's hoping for that. And I just hope that, honestly, Philadelphia gets what it deserves. I know everybody that's sitting here on your screen right now, guys, whether you're a Philly fan and you can resonate with it, or you're JJ Segalo that's obsessed with all 5 of our beautiful faces, and that's why you're locked in on your screen still. In all seriousness, we've been through a lot of pain. Like, it's been a lot of heartbreak. It's been a lot of shortcomings, and it's been a lot of, blood, sweat, and tears for nothing at the end of the day. You don't get a fucking participation trophy in any of these leagues. You don't get a second place trophy. I mean, if it's the MLB, they do raise that one banner, but like nobody really gives a shit. That's like the regular season NBA Cup. So I just really want to see my people, my friends, my family, the people around me just happy, because that's the one thing too that I really sunk in. Is Philadelphia is going to be like the aftermath of the Avengers, whether we win or we lose. That's kind of the scary part. Like, that's the scary part for Philadelphia. Once Philadelphia, like the city of Philadelphia, once the Eagles advance to the Super Bowl every year, the city's sitting there like, shit. Something like one way or another, like crime's going to happen. Shit's going to go down. And stuff's crazy. Like, Tom, I told KJ the story the other day when you were a freshman, and that guy ended up almost shanking you over, just stupid stuff. It gets crazy out there.
You're the hobo in Philly, right?
Luckily, Tom was okay. Tom has street smarts. He knows how to get out of, situations like that. Tom was like, hey, if I didn't have street smarts, this could have went bad. And I'm sure other people at the parade,
leave me alone, hobo.
Have had that.
So wasn't right there.
I just hope that this parade and this celebration post Super Bowl, and then the parade is like a little bit more not toned down, but a little bit more like calculated is maybe a better word. Like, hey, let's not do all the dumb shit, because you see in the national media and people see like person passed away, like it's a big deal. So moving on from that, you got to just be smart. I'm not saying, hey, don't go out and like, one of the most beautiful things ever is when you look out on Broad Street and it looks like a presidential inauguration with all the people that are out there. Like, it's mob. That's awesome. I'm all for that. But just be smart when you go out there, and like be respectful too, because it's going to happen either way. And if the Eagles don't win, maybe don't go out there. Because just don't contribute to that. Like, what are we really celebrating?
Do not
it's
burn
not like
anything.
the rage room that they used to have at Wells. Don't treat your city like the rage room at Wells Fargo. Does that still exist?
I think it does.
But I don't think so. I think it's gone.
I know where I'm going if we lose the Super Bowl. Just saying.
And if you're Dan Matranga, please keep your pants on.
Yes, please. If you're anyone, please keep your clothes on. We don't need a bunch.
Oh
of
yeah, Matt Bear. Yeah,
City.
Matt Bear. Remember, he said he was going to do that for New Year's. Remember?
Yes, Matt Bear. If the Eagles win, please contain your excitement with your Devontae Smith T-shirt that you have, and don't go crazy and start spinning it around. But hey,
and if the Chiefs win, I swear to God, if we see you in Chiefs clothes, Chris will hunt you down. He will.
I ain't gonna do shit.
Okay, never mind. He won't. Ballpark will.
Yeah, ballpark will get him. I'll get him. I'll hunt him down for you. But at the end of the day, the Birds are bowl bound. We got a ton cooking up for you guys. I know Ashley said that she's got a ton with her content. We got a ton as well. KJ and I were filming that video this morning. I know Nolan's working on a couple hype videos as well. Nolan's been super talented. His graphics have been insane. So I just want to take this time to say, if you guys haven't, please give us a follow on all social media outlets at 302 Birds. We'd really appreciate that. Like, comment, subscribe, all those little things mean a ton. Chaos Chris, please let the people know where they can find you too.
On Sippin' Sports every Saturday morning. That's about all I really do, and TikTok a little bit. But
Yeah, give him a
if you
follow.
guys don't know
Chaos
me
Chris
now, I don't know.
PHL.
Yeah. Don't follow me.
Well, TikTok's still around. None of us really have gotten any. I think it's going to stay around at least temporarily. So hopefully we'll have more of a word on that. But follow him on Instagram too. Follow him on TikTok. And other than that, we will see you guys here next week to preview the Eagles Super Bowl. Jackson, you want to take us out of here, brother?
Yeah, where's Zepp?
Yeah. He said he was reviewing a paper with his girlfriend. I don't know. He said he was gonna be back home, but he's not home. So anyway,
AJ, that sounds like date night to me.
Yeah, exactly. Date night.
Tell him what's up.
Well, I'll save my hype speech for next week. But hey Josh, it's an outro, not an intro. Hit that motherfucking outro.
What we got? 302BIRDS, Gino Stinks. Go Bees.
Oh my gosh, chat.
Your favorite Chicagoan. Go Phils.
As always, God bless. Go Birds.